Please rise for the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Yingstrom?
Here.
Councilman Zipprich? Here. Councilwoman Horgan? Here. Councilwoman Schwabenbauer? Councilman Taylor?
Here.
Councilman Whalen?
Here. All right, we do have a quorum. Sometimes statement, please.
Let the minutes reflect that in compliance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Open Public Meetings Act, the notice of this meeting has been provided by notifying the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and the Star Ledger by placing a notice in the bulletin board on the same with the Borough Clerk on January 1, 2017.
Thank you. Oh, I should note that we did have an executive session council meeting at 5:30 p.m. for the purposes exclusively of discussing ongoing litigation. The minutes of that particular meeting will be available only at the conclusion of the litigation. And that was all that was discussed. And no final action was taken, obviously. Is there a motion to suspend the regular order of business?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
We have a wonderful presentation by Dr. Superintendent Lewis Moore. Come on up.
Thank you, Mayor.
And by the way, I want to welcome the members of the Red Bank Regional Board of Education who are here, long-standing friends and members of the community, and your service on the regional board is greatly appreciated by all of us, and I know it's a Herculean labor of love.
Yeah, I know I'm sure you have a busy evening, so I will be brief, but I did want to leave you with some information about the high school, some of which I'll be referring to, so that you can have your peruse when we're done. No, it's different. I didn't pack it.
The superintendent has a warm heart. He's not cold.
Yes, that's right. We have warm hearts in RBR despite the cold. It is cold. It was a blast. Yeah. Yes, of course. This microphone? Okay. Hello. Well, thank you, Council. It's always great to be here, and thank you for the invitation to join you on this evening. As I said, I will be brief, and I want to leave time for questions from the Council. But the main reason tonight is to give you an update on some of the great things that are happening at RBR. I think most members of the Council may recall that I had the chance to meet with the Council last year. So I'm into my second year as superintendent, and I came to RBR because I wanted to come to RBR. I was not looking for a superintendency. What I wanted to do is I wanted to be at RBR, and I love being superintendent. I love the school. I think of three things that really make public education special in the United States. One is public schools are great when they not only teach democracy, but they practice it. I think public schools are great when they not only talk about diversity, but they actually live it. And I think they're great when they talk about excellence in such a way that they do give students the opportunity to earn top grades and to achieve excellence on standardized tests, but they really give students the opportunity to experience excellence in a more deep and more fulfilling way. And that is to find meaning and purpose in their educational programs. And I think those three areas, democracy, diversity, and excellence, are abundant at RBR every day. And I'm so proud of my colleagues, I'm so proud of my students, and I'm very proud to be able to serve every day at RBR. It's backed up by some excellent accolades I'd like to share with you. This year, again, the Washington Post selected RBR to be one of the most competitive, one of the most challenging high schools in the whole United States. Second in Monmouth County. New Jersey Magazine, in its rankings, also again determined that RBR was one of the best high schools in the state of New Jersey. In your packets, I did include, and this goes for members of the community, please be advised that RBR is a resource for the community. There's always something happening there. And I'll be glad, you can find these on our website, but members of the council, I included our upcoming VPA performances. If you're available on Friday, members of the community, our piano program and our choir program will be putting on their winter concert, so it'll be a really fun night and a great way to get into the holiday spirit, so please come out for that. But also other events for winter and spring are included here. Our winter sports season is in full swing. Our hockey team, as you know, plays right here in town at the Armory, and that schedule is included in this packet as well. And then finally, also for the council, as well as our community, this will be available tomorrow on our website, is our tri-yearly, it comes out 3 times a year, our update on some of the great stuff happening at RBR, if you'd like to take a look at that. Just a couple of highlights from the fall so far in terms of the remarkable accomplishments of our staff and students. The United States Air Force Association has selected RBR as a Cyber Patriot Center of Excellence for the work in our technology program, training students to prepare and secure information platforms from danger. Last year, RBR students were 2nd in the nation at a competition in Maryland. 2nd in the nation, not New Jersey, in the whole country, in competitions that require them to spend huge amounts of time dealing with cybersecurity challenges. Our outstanding club advisor and teacher, Mandy Galante, was selected as the Cyber Patriot Coach of the Year for the entire country. It's a national award. RBR Senior, closer to home, but just as important, RBR Senior Subi Montesir was recently honored by the T. Thomas Fortune Foundation for her work. She serves as their publicist. So it's not just volunteer work, she's literally on the staff, probably not paid, but she puts out all their publications, both digital and also on conventional means. So we're really proud of her. In our VPA vocal program, 17 students were selected for the All-State Opera this year. That's really outstanding. Our creative writing teacher, Gretna Wilkinson, Dr. Gretna Wilkinson, was honored by FeedSpot, which is an organization that gives out awards of excellence for literary websites. You may not have heard of FeedSpot, but you may have heard of Harvard University, which also has been honored, their website. So our teacher's website received the same honor that the Harvard University English Department literary website received. Not so, pretty good, huh? Our girls tennis program had their best season in 12 years, with the largest number of girls in school history being qualified for state tournaments. Girls and boys cross country also had excellent seasons. The girls took first place at the Short Coaches Invitational, and were also Short Conference A Central Division champions. Boys earned a 3rd place finish in the Monmouth County Championship. And for those of you who were brave to attend the annual Thanksgiving contest with Long Branch the day before Thanksgiving, RBR scored a big win against Long Branch High School at RBR. And so I believe that's the oldest rivalry in Monmouth County. So that was a great night for RBR football. Our fall play was brilliant. Macbeth, that was really great. So in short, the school is thriving. The excellence of our staff, the dedication and the excellence of our students is evident every day. To keep that excellence alive, myself, my colleagues at school, but also my colleagues on the Board of Education, Mrs. Dougherty is here with us, and Pat Noble. We've worked this year to develop 3 district goals. They are that we have an ongoing commitment to improving the use of technology, of educational technology in a smart way, not just technology for its own sake, but technology that'll really enrich the educational experience for the students. We're exploring the possibility of bringing 2 new 4-year academies to RBR. So we currently have 4 4-year academies. We're thinking about the possibility of adding a new academy in biomedical science and another one in education. And that's exciting work. About half of our students, about 600 students, participate in 4-year academies. So that's exciting work, and we're real proud of that. The 3rd district goal is to increase student participation in programs that prepare them for college and career. Notably, RBR is one of the few schools to have both advanced placement and international baccalaureate programs. altogether, and this is a good number, about 52% of our students take at least one of those courses. But we set the bar higher, and we want to increase that participation rate by 10%. And we're putting programs in place to support students, to prepare them for that coursework, and that's exciting work. We've also continued to build partnerships with colleges and universities. Close to 200 RBR students are earning college credit at RBR for the coursework they're doing. Not sitting for an AP exam or an IB exam, but actually for the courses they take. The courses are determined to be at that quality that college, our partner institutions, are actually giving them credit. We already have existing relationships with Georgian Court, with Fairleigh Dickinson, and with Syracuse. We're expanding that relationship in biomed, possibly with Rutgers, and also some new courses are being brought on with Syracuse. We also started a tech prep program in our culinary arts program with Brookdale, so that students can earn 7.5 college credits for courses that they take in culinary arts at RBR. So it's all very exciting, and we're very proud to support that effort. I did want to highlight, going back to the tech piece, one initiative that received sort of the lead story in the newsletter is that this year we rolled out Chromebooks to our entire 9th grade class. 307 students received a Chromebook to enhance their educational experience. And we have current plans to continue to expand this program so that RBR, the goal is next year RBR will become a one-to-one learning environment where every student has their own Chromebook to support their education and to support their program. We're proud of that. We think that's going to connect kids to a remarkable range of resources. It'll support student work, and it also supports our instructional program. I did include, just because I think I actually had a great meeting last night with the Educational Technology Committee, and I think, the Chromebooks, I think, is a big investment, a major investment in achieving greater equity for our students, but I think it's only half of the puzzle. The other piece is to ensure that all of our students have internet access. We completed a comprehensive survey of about 800 of our 1,200 students participated in it. We were able to geo-map the survey results. It's in your packet, and it identifies those areas in the 3 towns, Red Bank, Little Silver, and Shrewsbury, where internet access is an issue. The dots that are green means those households have internet. The households that are red means that they don't have access to Wi-Fi. So we're looking, and it was really a great conversation last night, so I thank the members of the council who were able to participate. Mrs. Dougherty was there with me, and we're looking forward to ongoing work with the council, but also with other organizations in the communities to ensure that all of our students have maximum access to these resources. I think that's the end of my report. I did want to extend an invite to the council on January 11, when we're into the new year. As you know, RBR embarked on a strategic plan which the board adopted last fall. We all feel that ongoing updates on our progress are very important. And so on January 11, there's going to be an evening program at RBR in the Media Center. Certainly members of the council, members of the public are invited to come. We'll be working in focus groups that reflect the major focus areas of the strategic plan, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts and also sharing with you some of the progress that we're very proud of. So that's with that, I'll close, ladies and gentlemen. If there's any questions, I'd be glad to do my best to try and answer them.
Thank you very much, Doctor. And again, on behalf of all of us, as I said earlier, leading into it, we are indebted to you and to the board for your leadership, as well as your staff, extraordinary staff, teachers and the parents who have been equal partners with the staff and the administration, making sure that the regional high school is a model for all of us. I know that Councilman Taylor and I are both graduates. He skipped a few years and was after me. But we both are very proud of our roots, and we see the kids every day, and we see what they are capable of doing, what they have been doing, and we know that they're going to be our future leaders. So we thank you for your stewardship of these fine men and women.
Well, thank you, Mayor.
I just find it so exciting about all of these academies. I really wish that I could go back to high school so that I could take so many other subjects that weren't available when I went to school. But thank you for all you're doing. Red Bank Regional, it's always a pleasure to go there, and we'll try to make it January 11th in the evening.
Great.
Okay, all right, and thank you for coming tonight, Mr. Noble and Dr. Doherty and Dr. Moore. Thank you so much. We had a very good meeting last night with our IT director and our IT consultant. Stanley was there, and Ed and myself, and we talked about how we can find internet areas that would allow students to have internet access, like churches, maybe the Y, Salvation Army, the library. So anybody who has any ideas, we're all open to them. And we want all the kids to have access to what's out there for their edification and education. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming tonight.
And thank you for your support, for your partnership. We really value our partnership. We value your support. We know that we have your interests and your support. It's clear in the visits that we've had at school, and that means a lot to us. And we really want to thank you. We know that it's a shared responsibility, and we couldn't ask for a better counsel.
Thank you.
Dr. Moore, I just wanted to acknowledge how great of a job you're doing. That actually right now, we're running a program, Santa Calls, and we have actually 12 RVR students upstairs from the Spanish Honor Society and the Keep Club making calls right now. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and thank you for that service.
Thank you, Counselor.
Are they calling council members?
Yeah, Dr. Moore, I just wanted to, again, as the mayor alluded, I am a proud alum, not only of the Red Bank schools, but of the RVR. It was a great school then. I'm really proud to see the tradition carrying through. I got a little preview maybe of your Friday night program. I was at a show at Count Basie last night, which the Red Bank Regional Choir was a part of. So very talented, and I'd love to see the young people succeeding. I'm not an artist, I can't sing worth anything, but it was really cool to see these young people really expressing themselves and being part of our program. So thank you and continue.
Thank you for that, Counsel. I'll pass that on tomorrow. I'm sure they'll be really thrilled to hear that. Thank you
To
very much.
segue into what Mark just said, a couple of weeks ago at the Basie, the Frank Sinatra Birthday Bash also included the choir from Red Bank Region.
Yeah.
Was really, they're fabulous. It was really nice. I'm sure it was exciting for them too.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. If I could just, sorry, yes, sir.
I mean, because Stanley Sickles is in the newsletter that is included in our package.
Yes.
And, Stanley has been inducted into Hall of Fame, so we wanted to make sure that we recognize Stan as a Red Bank alum, and wish you and the entire team a very happy holiday season.
Thank you, Councilman. Yeah, I did want to, front page, RVR had its first athletic Hall of Fame. Mr. Sickles was one of the initial honorees. So we're real proud of that. We're proud that we had this great event. It was a lot of fun.
My team.
Your team. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, it was good to have you. I'm glad that you acknowledged you. I do want to say hi to another trustee. In case you haven't met Erwin Katz, another Red Bank trustee. I'm sorry, I'm a little embarrassed him. He's back there, but he's a great member of our board. Just wanted to introduce him. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you all. Motion to resume the regular order? Second. All in favor? Okay. A couple of workshop items. Number one, the amendment to the salary ordinance range. Stanley?
Yes, Mayor, as a result of our sub-level contract and also in preparation for the new year with some changes, we're working on the change in the salary orders to make sure the ranges will accommodate the changes that are coming. I believe we're good to go with the contract negotiation results. However, I'm going to have a draft to you before the end of the, hopefully within the next week, so that you have time to look it over and be prepared for introduction.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? JCP&L easement request, Stanley.
Yes, Mayor, it's, I believe I forwarded to the council by email. There's a request from JCP&L. They want to relocate a pole that due to the construction of the addition on Camp Lisi Theater, and we placed that building too close to the high tension lines that are on top of the utility poles on Pearl Street. And it's a unique situation because the utility lines south of that pole are on the west side of the street. That pole comes across, the wires come across to that pole, which is on the east side, and then those wires go back across the street to the west side, north of Monmouth Street. So it just makes sense to put it in line with the existing utility easement on the west side of Pearl Street. The pole would go on the corner, right near where the dry cleaners is, in our right of way, and also in line with the power line easement that is on Monmouth Street that goes east and west. So it's basically relocating a pole from one location to another location within the existing easements. I believe normally to do an easement you'd have to do an ordinance, but since this is putting this in line with the existing easements, I asked forward the information to the attorney if we can do it by resolution. And there was a draft agreement that I sent with him when we received from JCP. I think it's a sort of a rudimentary decision, and it really won't affect. Actually, making it will improve by moving those lines and having them all on one side of the street.
Who's going to be responsible for the maintenance of it?
JCP.
Is that in the agreement?
Yes.
What about the costs of the moving and all ancillary costs?
This is all JCP.
Yes, and it's all within the right of way, so no resolution for commission is not necessary for the utility.
If it's already right away to do it by resolution.
Yeah, if we could add that tonight, then that will be probably the last step in the prior approvals for not least to get their final approval for the power part of this.
Does somebody have a resolution?
Didn't come with a resolution. You can do it, we can memorialize it.
You'll do it before?
You can do it from the floor, Pam and I can memorialize it for certification.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about all of the costs as well as the maintenance have to be either the BASI's responsibility or JCP&L, not the public's.
Yeah, this is all JCP. It's in the agreement.
Okay. Anybody have any objection to it? No. All right, so we'll add it. Anything else for workshop? If not, approval of the minutes, November 29th. Motion? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Appointments this evening, Maria Santa Maria to the Human Relations Advisory Committee for a three-year unexpired term, ending 12/31/2018 due to the vacancy. Motion? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Reports from Area Council Committee members. Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank everybody who participated in the West Side tree lighting this weekend. Despite some snow, it was still a great event. Charlie did a great job with Parks and Rec, and I also wanted to thank the police, fire department, and DPW for all their help. A few things upcoming. Parks and Rec is continuing our clothing drive, so if you know you or a neighbor have any extra winter clothes or any clothes really, please bring them by to the second floor. Judging for our home decorating contest is going to be Monday, so there's still time to sign up. Sign up by Friday if you want your house to be considered. And then also we're finalizing details for a winter ski trip in January. And lastly, we met with the respondents for the proposals for Marine Park, the qualifications. Probably at the next meeting we'll have something to report back as to potentially who we're going with. So that's moving forward. Thank you.
Any consideration for a winter beach trip to Fort Lauderdale instead of
No, but there will be the polar bear plunge on
No. When you get to be my age, you don't want to do a polar bear plunge. Ed.
No report, Mayor. I just wanted to, this is the last meeting before the Christmas holiday, so I just wanted to wish everybody celebrating happy holidays.
Thank you. Kathy.
No report.
Thank you.
My report was, Dr. Moore presented my report.
And very eloquent.
Yeah.
Michael.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief as well. I just want to congratulate Stu Jensen on the victory of becoming the next fire chief of the Red Bank Fire Department. Congratulations, and you're going to do an incredible job. working with you over the last 2 years. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to another great year. Also, give credit to Stanley. Stanley's the one who got Stu Jensen involved in the fire department, so I know Stanley would like to take some credit, especially that you're coming out of the hook and ladder, which is Stanley's home. Especially, we also want to thank Stanley as well, the fire department. I won't be doing so for you for the next meeting, but everything you've done with the department, leaving it in Stu's hands, I know is must be a good feeling for you. So, congratulations again, Stu. Also, just want to congratulate the police department. Last Friday, they had a huge heroin bust, as that the public had heard. With an epidemic that we have going on, that bust, you don't know how many lives that actually saved. So, I want to congratulate the police department on how you handle each of those matters, as well as the professionalism. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. Code Committee met last week, discussed some changes to the department with Stanley's imminent departure. We elevated John Drucker and Tommy Welsh to their respective new roles, and we were looking at some improvements to some process and some things like that, just to make us a little bit more efficient and make our code a little more friendly and easy to understand. I do have big news to report for the EC, the Environmental Commission. I got an email this afternoon that said we finally got notification about our Sustainable Jersey efforts this year. We did achieve bronze status, so we are recertified for bronze status with more points than we needed, so we are strongly pushing into 2018 with the goal of silver. I have to give special thanks to Boris Kaufman, Maria Rotolo from DPU, Cliff, your entire staff have been awesome. Thank you to you as well. Our clerk, Pam, has been instrumental in getting us the documentation, because we know we do all these programs and we need to actually document that we're doing them. You got to be able to show it on paper. So thank you, Pam, for that as well. I want to thank our outgoing EC president, Frank Corrado, for his efforts, and the biggest hero in the room. She's not here, but she'd be embarrassed that I was even saying this, but a huge thank you to Pat Pinto. This would not have been done without Pat. So a big thank you to Pat Pinto, and we are really happy to have achieved this. I know, Kathy, you were EC liaison last time we went through this, and it's a grind. So happy to have gotten through, approved for bronze, and shooting for silver and beyond in the next couple years.
Anything else, Mark? That's it. Thank you. I know Linda's out on work duty tonight, and just want to thank her for her continuing work on the budget and the finance committee. Okay, now we're going to communications and petitions. Request from the Salvation Army to use the loading zone at Broad and Wallace for the world's largest kettle event on December 22nd from 9 to 9. For their kettle donation. Motion? So moved. Second? Second. All in favor? Okay. Yeah, the doctor says I have to stay away from hot chocolate. Unless it's Kahlua. For members of the public, there are a number of ordinances on for first reading. And no ordinances on for final adoption. There are some resolutions. The ordinances are provided at the table in front of the room. But if anyone wishes to address any questions on those ordinances or resolutions, now is the time to do so. General comments for any other type of business will be at the end of the meeting. Steve, is that your hand? Yes, Mr. Hammond.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick question with regard to Resolution 17279. Could you identify the property? I didn't have a map available and couldn't call one up on my computer.
Yeah, the 17279 is a standard resolution after approvals are granted. They have to post performance bonds for doing the work. That would be 55 West Front Street.
That is 55
Yeah.
West Front. Thank you.
Any other questions or clarifications, Mr. Burns?
Good evening. Cindy Burnham, 71 Wallace Street. Question regarding 2017-40 water rates. How come there's no increase in rates for the 1 inch, the 1.5, the 2, and the 3 inch?
I think a study was done by Public Works as well as Tom Branch and our finance office, and those rates were found to be consistent. These are the larger, more industrial rates being increased to be consistent with out there in the rate field.
Right, but like who would have a 2 or 3 inch? Would that be a commercial property?
Stanley, you would probably know
Majority-
the size of pipes than I do.
Majority of the 2-inch would be commercial, although there are some residential complexes, like the apartment complex as well, may have a 2-inch meter. But it's spread across the borough, but most of those 2-inch are commercial
And
properties.
who's a 3 inch? What's the hospital, 5 inch?
Hospital had a 4-inch.
4 inch?
And they have, I believe, half a dozen 2-inch meters from different eras when different parts.
But we're not going to increase 2 inch.
Pardon me?
It says we're not going to increase the rate for 2 inch.
All this does, we have 3-inch or above, and when we,
The existing ordinance says 3 inches or above.
Right.
This clarifies it and makes it more specific.
we had a 3-inch or above, we found that we actually have some meters that are larger. And when we compare the fact that we didn't have a graduation at the larger meter size compared with other utilities, they all have fees for each one of those size meters. Now, we have about half a dozen, maybe, I think it's 9 or 10 larger meters. So we're putting rates in for those larger meters, which are the majority of them are commercial properties.
Well, yeah, I figured that, but I was just curious as to who, or what kind of a business, you know, has 2 and 3 inch pipes. That's all I wondered.
Oh.
And why we weren't increasing their rates.
Well, there's no rate adjustment, we're just putting in,
Oh,
this ordinance,
Mhm.
we're just putting in rates for meters that we didn't have specific rates for.
It's not specified before.
Right, I
They're
get it.
actually less than our surrounding competitors.
Okay. More than Atlantic Highlands?
Well, I didn't compare Atlantic Highlands, but we compared.
We always
use
use Atlantic Highlands.
Not always.
They're just like us with water.
We're putting in rates for meters that we didn't have rates for. That's all this
Okay.
ordinance does.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or clarifications? Okay, thank you. Moving on to ordinances, ordinance 2017-39, an ordinance amending and supplementing borough ordinances concerning policies regarding authority, and what this does is section 3 as well as section 4 of the policies and procedures manual dealing with a number of issues are changed and clarified, and it's only on for introduction. And that should be contained in everyone's package. Motion to introduce? Second.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Public hearing, Pam, will be when? It's got to be December 27th, right?
At 6:30.
December 27th, 6:30. Next is ordinance 2017-40, which is an ordinance that amends and supplements the chapter of the Borough of Red Bank concerning Chapter 695, Water and Sewer, Article 3, Water Department, the water rates for different size metering of size of the meters, and the only change would be the 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch, and larger. Motion to introduce. Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Public hearing, December 27th at 6:30 p.m. Next is ordinance 2017-41, which amends and supplements the ordinances of the Borough of Red Bank concerning Chapter 90, officers and employees, with respect to the designation of the official position of fire marshal. Motion to introduce. So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Public hearing, December 27th at 6:30 p.m. Ordinance 2017-42, which amends and supplements the ordinances of the borough concerning Chapter 61, fire prevention and protection. Motion? So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing, December 27th, 6:30 p.m. Ordinance 2017-43. Ordinance amending and supplementing the ordinances concerning Chapter 505, property maintenance, and the adoption of standards for the property maintenance code. Motion to introduce? Second? All in favor? Any opposed? Public hearing will be December 27th at 6:30 p.m. Moving on to ordinances for public hearing, final adoption, there are none. Resolutions, Resolution 17-259. For some period of time, we've been talking about introducing a resolution that designates certain specific architectural firms to give guidance to the borough for design standards to assist our planning and zoning board, as well as various committees in certain major applications that come before the board. It's good government. And this particular resolution appoints 3 separate firms that are well known in the industry and outside the area that have done a lot of public work, which will be a pool appointment. And it will not be at a cost to the taxpayers, because if they are going to be designated on any particular project, it would be paid through the escrow that are generated from the applicant for that particular project. It does not apply to single-family homeowners. It does not apply to small single developments. It applies to major applications. So the 3 firms that are going to be designated by this resolution are MMA Architects, Netta Architects, and DMR Architects. Motion? Second? All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. On the consent agenda, unless there's any objection.
Yeah, I'd like to take out 17-273 and put that on by itself.
Well, yeah, I was going to do that, yes.
Service.
Yeah, I don't know why that was on
Just
this.
the rest of these.
I didn't mean that, I meant the other ones. Yeah, we already,
Yeah,
no, I know, but it's not, it's going to be separate. Okay. Right, you're right. Other than 17-273, by consent of the agenda, 17-274 through and including 17-283. Second? All in favor? Any opposed? We'll get back to 17-273. Proclamations, there are none. Yes, there's an added resolution for the easement, which will be resolution, I'm sorry, 17-284, which would be the granting of the easement for the JCP&L movement of the power line, subject to the conditions that any and all costs, as well as liability and/or costs associated with that, will be borne by either the applicant, Count Basie, or by JCP&L. Motion? Second? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Resolution 17-285, which would be a resolution for the payment of bills, be it resolved by the mayor and council, the bills be paid on the attached check registry totaling $1,648,515.11. Motion? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Then we get back to any additional resolutions. If not, we go to 17-273. All of us were honored to be able to be at the sold-out, energetic, enthusiastic crowd, well organized by a phenomenal administrative assistant at 90 Monmouth Street at the Oyster Point, on a very warm Friday night, made warmer by the presence of so many people, and also by the warmth of the comments that were extended in the course of that evening, which in my opinion were all genuine comments. 38 years of public service is an extraordinary length of service. It's an extraordinary commitment, I believe, what I said that night also, for any individual to devote 38 long, tiring, sometimes fun, sometimes challenging, at all times tense because of various issues, and being the public face of so many different issues that one has to face. And for those 38 years, Stanley Sickles has been out there as the stalwart, happy warrior at times, but always champion of Red Man. How he got here, we all know, which was a good story. But, I mean, you look around any aspect of the borough of Red Bank and you talk to people throughout the state, and invariably one of the first questions they ask is, how's Stanley doing? And they all mean it with a great deal of affection. Because if you go to Trenton, if you go to any of the administrative agencies, if you speak to any of the myriad of the hundreds of volunteer fire departments and first aid companies in this state, he has left a mark on them in so many different ways, way beyond the reach of Red Bank. And I think although Stanley has 38 years of service, I think he was bested by one other employee of the Borough of Red Bank, and that was Bill Himmelman with 44 years of service, but he started before Stanley was born, so that was a major difference. But throughout it all, I mean, this man has had to listen to all of us, and at times I think he would have preferred to be with his beautiful wife and extraordinary family, but he never complained. He always took the slings and sorrows of whatever issues we had with him, and he was the fulcrum of a lot of our issues, most of the times wrongly so, but he took it, he never complained. And he did it because he is a consummate professional. He did his job and did more than his job and served faithfully and diligently and with distinction and with integrity. So all of us were proud to have been not only with you, and most of us with you for a lot of those years. And looking around this table, I think I was the person who had the longest tenure with you because we also went to school together with Freddie Quinn, who's waving. So it was a strange night to be at your celebration, because we know that come December 31st, you're not going to be sitting at this table anymore, but your presence will still be felt. There's no way you can erase or forgive so much of one's life that has gone into a community. And I know you're not going anywhere, you're sticking around, and that's good. So on behalf of all of our volunteers, on behalf of our uniform services, on behalf of our Department of Public Works, on behalf of our residents, on behalf of our schools, that you've been a partner with them, both at the local and regional level. And certainly on behalf of my brothers and sisters on this council who are here now and who have served in the past, we owe you an enormous debt of gratitude and appreciation, which are not just words, but I think that you felt a lot of that emotion from many of us over the years. And our relationship with you has been a source of strength. It's been a source of empowerment for us to make us better individuals, seeing the type of commitment you were able to make through all sorts of issues. So on behalf of all of us, I have this resolution. I guess I could, should I read it, Pam, or should I? Oh, okay, I should read it, okay. I don't know why I was talking longer than the resolution, but it was not written, it was from the heart. So the resolution is, whereas the Borough of Red Bank has been privileged to employ Stanley J. Sickles for over 38 years, and whereas Stanley started his prestigious career as Fire Marshal, Fire Subcode Official in 1979, was later appointed Building Subcode Official for my uncle, Construction Official, and ultimately Borough Administrator in 1996. And whereas throughout his tenure, Mr. Sickles has had numerous accomplishments, including overseeing many municipal projects, and has received several awards, including the 1995 New Jersey State Fire Prevention and Protection Association Fire Protection Inspector of the Year, 1998 Eastern Monmouth Area Chamber of Commerce Appointed Official of the Year, 2001 Monmouth County Fire Prevention and Protection Association Fire Prevention Man of the Year, and in 2002 was inducted to the Red Bank Regional High School Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. And whereas Stanley has been an exemplary employee who has tirelessly served the Borough of Red Bank with integrity and dignity, and has shown loyalty and dedication to the responsibilities of his position at a level that few employees have. And whereas Mr. Sickles has not only dedicated countless hours to Red Bank as a dedicated employee, but has also served as a devoted volunteer member of the Red Bank Fire Department since 1973, serving as chief of the department in 1988. And whereas he will be missed by everyone that has had the pleasure to work with him, as he seeks a much-deserved rest from the Borough of Red Bank, as he will be honored at a gathering on Friday, December 1, 2017, where he will be celebrated, commended, and thanked for his over 38 years of devoted and exemplary service to the Borough of Red Bank and its people. Now therefore be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Red Bank to commend and congratulate Stanley J. Sickles for his loyalty and dedication to the Borough of Red Bank, and express to him and his family the deepest thanks and warmest best wishes on behalf of all of the Borough of Red Bank's employees and residents for his many years of service, and we wish him continued health and happiness in the years to come. Thank you, Stanley.
Mayor, you may want to fact check that staying around thing with Donna.
Any members of the council president?
Well, I've been working with Stanley now for 10 years. Sometimes our conversations have been stormy, I'll be honest, but I've always respected his knowledge and his institutional memory. And if you have a couple hours every day, he will give you a very good story. I mean, you really learn a lot about Red Bank. But you've been very helpful on many, many occasions. And I want to thank you, and I wish you well, and Donna as well. Thank you for what you've done. I mean, 38 years is a long time to stay in one job. Very few people do that today. And I think Red Bank has benefited from it. So thank you.
And Stanley, I'll add that Red Bank is safer for it, as the mayor always reminds us. It has been, you have been sort of the godfather of every member of this council who preceded me and some of the newer members of the council, but you have always been there, as Kathy said, to share your institutional knowledge, give us guidance, give us direction, jump in when we needed you to jump in between us and the public at times, which we're all very grateful for. But one of the things that concerns me as we go into the new year is nobody knows Red Bank underground better than you do. And I will miss that over with the crew at the DPW. I wish you and Donna and the family, as it grows, much happiness and success, and that well-needed rest. Thank you.
I'd say a couple words quickly. To Councilman Zipper's point, I am one of the newer council members up here, but over the last 2.5 years, Stanley and I have become extremely close. I've not only been close with him, but she'll kill me, Mrs. Sickles. The family, I've been extremely fortunate to be close with the family, and Stanley, you've taught me so much, and a lot of it has become because of the Red Bank Fire Department, me as being commissioner, and us being able to be together a lot, and just your what I've learned from you is a couple things about what you're passionate about. It's when you're passionate about Red Bank, fire safety, and most importantly, your family. And you're an incredible father, husband, public servant. You've taken a lot of punches and a lot of bullets on behalf of Red Bank, which Red Bank owes a huge debt to you. And I think your daughter said it perfectly at the event, that Red Bank doesn't deserve any more of your time. And now as you go and sail off in the sunset, enjoy the next chapter of your life. But I know you'll be extremely missed, and I'm grateful that I consider you a friend, and I think you'll remain in my life for a long time to come. So thank you.
Anybody else?
Don't try, Stanley.
Motion on the resolution. Motion on the resolution. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
It's official.
Can we move by all of us?
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Yes.
Linda's not here.
Any old business? Any new business? Audience? Yes, Bill.
Bill Brooks, 77 Tower Hill Avenue. Good evening, members of the mayor, members of the council. I would like to recognize the Public Works employees and their director, Cliff Kane, for the job they did on Saturday to get those leaves off the road during that snowstorm. If that 6 inches of snow had materialized that they were possibly talking about, we would have had a heck of a mess. They did one great job in lousy conditions. And they were out early and they stayed late. Job well done. That's it.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Thanks for saying so.
Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Boyd. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Chief, I'm sorry, my boy.
Stuart Jensen. My residence address is now 36 Vista Drive, but my life is on the East Coast, has been in Red Bank. For the last 2 meetings, Commissioner Whelan has recognized me, congratulated me on my role as fire chief, and I just want to say to him, thank you, sir. I couldn't have done it without you, and I really appreciate as much as you do me. I think I appreciate more what you're bringing to this town and the fire department with your energy, guidance, and resolve. We need that. I'm very excited about this position. It's a challenging position, one that I am strengthened for by the people such as Commissioner Whelan, Stanley Sickles, who has helped me along the whole way, and all the other members of the council. I enjoy working with the Parks Department. Councilman Engstrom has helped me out a lot with some of our events, and I've been happy to return the favor for Charlie, Cliff, I can't say enough about him, and all the members. But really, I'm up here, I hadn't planned anything, but I wanted to say, Stanley, since all you council members had a chance, I just want to say, Stanley, when I moved in, was my next door neighbor and introduced himself to me from his porch to my porch. He then introduced me to the fire department, and he brought me through that. I'm having a hard time thinking of one council member here that Stanley wasn't the one who introduced me to you, and has brought me along with my progress with the town, right back to even introducing me to Eugenia at one of our events, and more on the back. He really has carried me along through this town. He's been a brother firefighter, a mentor, and an inspiration for me. And I could never do what he's done for this town, but at least I can carry his torch a little bit further along the way after he takes his break. But I know he's still going to be here, so that's partly relevant. Anyway, thank you, Stanley, and thank you all.
Mr. Boyd.
Good afternoon. 365 Shrewsbury Avenue, P.O. Box 2074. Mr. Mayor Stanley, I know we had our ups and downs, and back in the day, I worked with you, I worked with your wife at 75 Chestnut Street. She was a little better than you.
It looks.
You ever have a problem, you know how to deal with it. I just want to say, you know, we go way back, and I know you will be missed in the town. We didn't have a chance to come at the thing at Mount Picture. I want to say, you know, we go way back, and that's something I will not forget. The other thing is, Mr. Miller, I did call you off, but you didn't call me back.
I know.
A couple of things. The chief of police, the police doing a job out here, and mom, they're giving tickets, and somebody being caught talking on the phone. I appreciate that, and it's a nice thing that they're doing that. They should do that. But in this minute, we have a problem. The borough employees, I'm not here to attack them, but they're riding these trucks, they're driving these front end loaders on the phone. If the police going to give people's tickets out here for talking on the phone, these borough employees need to be suspended for a day. Because if you go to court, and some of y'all are lawyers, you know what it costs for a lawyer to go to court, fight, talking on the phone. An employee shouldn't have no different. And one person got a ticket for talking on the phone, you know him very well, not going to mention his name. And he said, Freddie, the employees ride around these trucks, driving the tractors, talking on the phone. I have seen it, and that has to be addressed, because you can't give people's tickets if you don't get the employee. And if the employee have an accident in that truck, he's not going to say he was talking on the phone. So that needs to be addressed immediately before this year go out. That needs to be taken care of. The other thing is, Mr. Zippers, my brother stayed in Staten Island, right across from the car. And I know at the meeting you say, parks. I'd like for you to bring pictures to show that the landfill got parked. He stayed right across from that car there on 440, up the hill up there. My brother stayed there. I just want to bring that to your attention. You mentioned it. The other thing is, Eric, as a lawyer, you do not send your clients a letter 3 days before you go to court. I received a letter from you 3 days before the meeting. As a lawyer, you know the right. That's not right. And, you know, it's a slap in the face. But we still had our meeting. We're going to have to continue having another meeting. But I need to see y'all. Some of you councilmen showed up before. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But I never see you, Captain, or Zippers. The people need to see you at some of these meetings that we have. Not just privilege, that we have. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Whitman. Anyone else? Okay, if not, we have to adjourn for executive session to discuss personnel and contract negotiations. No action will be taken this evening. Is that correct? Okay. So a motion to adjourn. The only possible action is we might adopt a resolution extending an existing municipal services agreement that we currently have as a joint shared service with Shrewsbury Township for a period of 3 months, continuing the existing contract because of time limitations. So that would be the only thing. So it's not an urgent event. Other than that, I don't anticipate anything else will be done. So you're welcome to stay and wait for us to do, or have a nice evening on a cold night if you have a fireplace or some hot Kahlua. I know.